Hi, welcome to the Game Changers. Today is Monday, so as usual on Mondays and Thursdays, we'll talk a little bit about psychology. After that, we'll get into how the day went and what we can expect for tomorrow. Please have a look at the weekend video. I've given a stock example there as to what people should do in a bear market. It'll be really useful. It'll be good if you can have a look at it. And now let's have a conversation about a very interesting topic. Chalo, let's have a talk. So, I'm going to talk about something which it's called panic. What do I mean by panic? Panic मतलब ऐसा किधर भी panic नहीं. Panic in the stock market. So generally जब market गिरता है and it's a bear market and there's like 20-25%, even 40% falls in the market, investors and traders का wealth it gets wiped out. Now why does this wealth get wiped out? Have you ever thought about it? अगर आपके पास leverage नहीं है और ये सब and आप cash में ही है और आपने even if stock पकड़ा है, right? वो panic आता है ना जब market 25%, 40% गिर गया and you tend to sell very close to the bottom. That's what happens with retail investors. When the pain is very high, ऐसा लगता है कि अभी सब डूबने ही वाला है. That is when the panic creeps in. And that is when it can get difficult and then we take some emotional decisions and we get out. What tends to happen is that market थोड़ा आसपास ही किधर तो bottom हो जाता है and market starts going up. This must have happened. This always happens. And what can we do in such a situation? I would suggest have a calm mind, and whenever you're trying to panic, right, think about why you're panicking. And if you have capital and fund, panic actually is one of the best times for an investor to put more money. But this will come only with experience. The feeling that you get कि भाई सब घुसने वाला है, सब बर्बादी चल रहा है, इसको advantage में कैसा लेना, that will come with experience. So what I can just suggest is just don't panic and just exit just because everything is falling and everything is not great. That can lead to wealth destruction, as an investor. Chalo, now let's talk about what has happened today. Today, so on Friday, we spoke about a scenario where we would get bearish in the market below this low and that we specifically wanted a 3-minute pivot to form and then break down, right? What has happened? The 3-minute pivot hasn't formed. It has formed, but just have a look at this. It hasn't broken down below this level, right? It hasn't broken down below this level. But what has happened interestingly is the previous day's low has failed again. What do I mean by that? The same setup that we discussed last week has happened again. This has come here, this, another pivot, this, and then a breakout, right? This was a valid trade setup, right? And 1:2 target was also achieved in this setup. So today was a very easy kind of day if you have followed the plan and what we have discussed. And this setup in the last couple of weeks itself We've got it twice. So go and have a look at the videos and you'll understand better. Now, what to expect for tomorrow? It's a little bit confusing, I'll tell you truthfully. Because there is some kind of panic that has happened today. But the daily candle is a big candle. It's a big range here. So, can there be some kind of doji which stays in this? It could. It could also be that it starts going up or even down. So we don't know exactly what. We'll have a look at it on a 3-minute time frame. So the important resistance is this. So if on a 3-minute pivot, price starts doing this, a 3-minute pivot and then a breakout, that would be a valid entry for long. On the short side, I'm not very confident on the short side because Bank Nifty is not falling. But if it has to fall, I would not just try and short below this level. I would not. I would actually want some kind of break significantly below today's low, then consolidate or make a 3-minute pivot and then break down. If this setup forms something like this, I would not be very interested here in this setup. Not very interested. I would want something like this to happen. If that happens and if it's clean, then I would be willing to short. And this is the long term. What about if market stays like this choppy? Then we know the answer. No trade. Simple as that. We tend to save money. Today has been a valid setup day. Tomorrow there could be no setups. That's fine. Or if something like this has happened, all this has happened, we can either trade that setup. So, what do I mean? Now, if you've observed over the last couple of weeks, right, we have started to do very similar things again and again and again. Our plan is set when we want to trade, when we don't want to trade, and what we are looking for. We are waiting for our setup. It's very important that we do that. And it's very important not to trade also when there isn't a setup. There are going to be great days, there are going to be not so great days. But our patience in the market is what is going to make us better traders. Chalo, bye. See you tomorrow.